Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 9 of the Saloon build. In this episode, we're going to get these walls stood and hopefully get the rafters up and maybe some other stuff. So we'll get working on that. Get the brace, or no, I'll just leave that. Okay, this will go right flush with the end.
And then what do you want me to do?
It's got to go my way, I assume.
Just a tiny little bit. Yeah, it's perfectly flush here.
Okay, we'll just split the difference a little bit. Oh. Right about there.
Do you need to hold it?
Yeah, just hold it and I'll tack the brace on.
Okay.
Okay, throw the level wherever you want and
Good job.
Same thing on the other side.
okay, this wall will go there.
You want your other camera running too, or?
Oh, the GoPro should be good.
This is the part that I suck at. I suck at all the other parts, but this is the part I really suck at. Being able to do this.
Maybe just tack it to the floor.
You happy? Carpenters, if they spend the time squaring it up here, then they won't be out. Finish the building.
Is this roughly level or plumb? Like this. I guess the whole thing will kind of have to.
Scooch it a little bit.
Maybe to run the level.
I need the level again?
Yeah.
Being apart, being together. How many bushels would this hold now? 200 bushels, eh? And it was a 500 bushel then.
Just check it right here and make sure.
You should have your other camera.
Yeah, that's
Ooh.
nice. I guess I'll just leave the fronts so we can tweak them if we need to. Okay, I guess we'll grab the other wall. It's gonna be taller than the bunkhouse.
Which side do you wanna? Let's lift it from this side, and we can go.
It'll go kind of straight in. I just gotta readjust. I guess this is the inside, so we'll have to like spin it a little bit. Where can I grab it? I just gotta keep it balanced.
Definitely got the lighting. Yeah, just do it up. Try to.
I guess. Yeah, we could.
Or would you rather?
I'd kind of like to spin it.
Would you like to set it?
Set it on there and then lift it up.
Maybe we should move all this stuff. Let's just set it up against the... Let's go back a little bit.
Because the weight is on it.
Okay, let's take this. Grab that. We'll set it down here.
Why don't you have your other camera going?
Because I want this one. It's not really worth a time lapse. I guess I'll just kind of pivot this end. I'll go over here.
Yeah, you definitely use the hand because...
Okay, you need me to pull?
Probably, yeah.
Colin.
Pretty flush on that side.
You got about a 1/4 inch here.
Overhanging.
Just come a little bit.
The framing's flush, that's what matters.
Yeah, you got about an 8. Just about, yeah, about an 8. Almost 0.
Oh, it's so bouncy.
Your floor's going to drop 4 inches anyways, right? Or it could be, right?
I guess.
Swing this.
This is the start of episode 9.
Oh wow. So we got 8 weeks of to release.
Yeah. Oh, it's so tight in there.
You could keep your floor at this level here,
Well, I want
which is a whole 4 inches.
room for casing on the inside. Like I dropped the top 6 inches so I could case the windows.
So then what would it hurt if your floor started right here?
Because I couldn't put casing around.
Okay. So you gotta go right on top of the.
Yeah, I'll just have those as ceiling joists.
Hey, do you need these soft
All right.
back up
So
there?
I will get.
Are you done with me? Nice.
Level. Do you trust this level?
Should be okay.
Right, use the one.
Yeah, I trust that one.
You want these back?
Yeah, they could go back, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty big. Alright, so what I'm going to work on now is getting the ceiling joists up. And what I'm just going to do first is put one along the back, exactly 10 feet, and then match whatever measurement this is. 10 and a 16th, we'll just call that 10 feet. And then I'll know that the walls are parallel, and that'll kind of be, that's 10 feet exactly. So then I'll know the walls are parallel, and that's kind of the first step to getting it square. That's pretty much square enough, but I'll try and get it as close as I possibly can just for demonstration purposes. When you're not working with sheet goods, it's not as crucial to have it perfect, but you still want to do it as close to perfect as you possibly can.
Where's the trailer keys?
I think I set them. Oh, they're probably up here.
Perfect, thank you.
Now you're probably wondering why I'm only using 2x4 for the ceiling joists, and that's because I want to, basically. I want to have as much room as possible in the attic, and to be honest, on such a short span, it really doesn't matter, in my personal opinion. These boards are nice and strong, they'll work just fine. Ooh, better not do that. Okay, I'll grab the step ladder. And like I said before, I don't think these have crowns, but if there is, looks like this one has a slight bit of a crown. Put that up so the weight of the floor on it over time, which realistically won't be very much, will pull it down and it won't sag. Okay, so I'll put that just like that, right flush on the edge. These are spent nails, hopefully they work. Maybe try and straighten that a bit. And then basically what I did over here was just pulled a couple studs because this was just a little bit big. I'll admit my mistake. It's kind of hard to square up a balloon framed wall though. Holy. Another spent nail. Now, what I want to do is lay out for rafters. So I think how that's gonna go is I'll go 2 feet from this one. I'll just toenail this into the plate. Right flush. Okay, so yeah, I hooked on to the end here and then 2 foot on center from the rafters, and then I'll just put the floor joist on this side of the mark, and then the rafter will sit on this side of the mark. So I guess I could just show you how I mark these out. It's gonna be a little trickier now that I put this on already, but if we're good at math, this will just be 3.5 less. So we'll just go 1, 2, 3.5, and that will be center on. Square to actually feel that. So right there, and then that's our 2-foot center. So throw a nail right there. And I can hook onto that. And that's 3/4 back, so I'll just go 24 X on that side. 48 X on that side. And that is what I did over there. So those should match up. And now I can go ahead and cut some more ceiling joists or floor joists, whatever you want to call them. I'll go cut those out and we'll toenail those to there. Okay, so I got these cut here. Let's see if there's a crown. Probably this way. Put it on that side of the mark. Crown is this way. Might have to come back with a bit of a better fastener and redo that. Crown is this way. That's just embarrassing. I'm gonna have to find a little more permanent solution to that. Oh well, we'll just tack them with those. Those nails go fine into the spruce. Just the fir is a bit too much for them. Maybe it's just because they're the thinner shank. I never liked those nails. Okay, it's not gonna work. Ah, just garbage. Absolute garbage. Well, they're kind of on there at least. Alright, so all of the floor joists or ceiling joists, whatever you want to call them, or up, and I think what we're gonna do now is start laying the floorboards up here in the attic. And then when the rafters go on, we'll just notch out where those will go. All right, so one of the things that I thought about just discussing here with my dad was we want as much room up here as possible. So rather than doing a top plate, I just opted to put these blocks in. Now I know this is really cheesy and not the way you're supposed to do it, but we just wanted to squeeze as much room as possible up here so we could fit a cot or whatever we decide to do. So this way it lifts it up, because I made that wall so that when you put the bird's mouth in the rafter, they'll sit in plane. I did it with a double top plate in mind, but then we just decided to do this. That'll keep the ceiling lower. Like, we could have lowered the ceiling, but I don't want to do that because of the transoms and all that, but that'll just give us 1.5 inches extra room up in the attic. And then basically what I'm working on now is just cutting out these pieces of 1x10 for the floor up there. All right, I got most of the good pieces of these cut out, so I'm just gonna see how far these get me. You know, I guess I'll just kind of set them here. Take them up one at a time. Now these will get pressure washed, obviously, cleaned up a bit. Well, this will actually get me quite a ways here. Yeah, that seems nice and strong. I should maybe cut a brace into this top part of the wall, because it's just a little wobbly.
But once you put a plate up there,
yeah, once it's all sheathed.
You can just put a temporary brace in it.
Yeah. It would be nice to have a permanent one though, just so it doesn't shake so bad. Because this wall doesn't shake at all. Okay, I will start nailing these. I'll just put them right to the edge. And then just cut the nice save. Yeah, so that's basically the idea. And then I think the rafters went, let's just double check here. Rafters will go on this side, so I'll just take the jigsaw and just cut out a little spot, and then it will be floor all the way through. There won't be spaces for stuff to fall behind or whatever. Alright, so I'm just kind of working on cutting more of these out, and I'm almost having second thoughts about using the 1x10s up there, but they're used now, so I don't really have a choice. But I was just kind of thinking, I don't know if I want to do any paint on the front or if I just want to use the rustic lumber as, you know, window casings and everything. But it's kind of too late now. I ran out of the big stuff, so we'll just keep going here. I'll finish off that floor. I'm just cutting these at 89. Kind of a waste of these nice long boards, but that's all I've got. Okay, so I just put the last piece in here. I didn't cut this at all. This is just how it worked out. Absolutely perfect. That doesn't happen too often, especially with this lumber. Sometimes they're a little bit different widths, just because this is just rough sheathing lumber, right? So they're all kind of a bit different, but luckily I don't have to rip anything. We'll have to pull that in quite a bit though. So now after I'm done this, we can get started on the rafters. It's a little bit wobbly up here. I think I'm gonna try running a brace in this wall here, probably from this point down to somewhere near the bottom there, and hopefully that'll stiffen it up. Maybe I'll do that first. Alright, so I just got back to the lake here, and I guess I did have this blade sitting in the bunkhouse. I didn't know I had it in there, so I guess I'll go ahead and throw this one in. Now, if you've never put a blade in one of these worm drives before, it's a little bit different. You kind of have to put it in backwards, and they've got this little diamond shape here. So you just take a screwdriver or whatever and pop that out. Probably should actually put a bit in there, it makes it easier. Hold on, let me get a bit in there. Usually these come out a lot easier. There we go. Just got to break that diamond piece out and then take your wrench, and the lock on this saw is right there. And then you have to spin this the opposite way. It's threaded backwards. I put this on really tight last time, I guess. There we go. Yeah, these are reverse threaded because it's spinning the other way, so you don't want it to loosen off and have the blade fly out on you when you're cutting. Now that's the original blade to this saw that I bought, 4 years ago now, probably almost 4 years ago. So that has been through quite a bit of lumber. Get that back in there. Find that lock button and tighten it. There, that's how you put a new blade in your saw, and you don't want to lose that wrench. Alright, so now I'm just working on cutting a brace into here. All I did was just tack it in a couple spots and then trace the lines. Now I'm just cutting it out. I can actually probably do that just right from up here on those ones. If I get this ladder out of my way. I don't really like using the saw on a ladder because it's big and heavy and you can't really hold it properly. Just got to reposition here. Gonna have to kind of go at this from this angle. Kind of hard to get this going at the right angle. There we go. And then these ones here almost need a step ladder right up here. I'll see if I can just get up onto the wall. Take this cord with me. Probably not advisable to pull your saw up by the cord, but still have this cheesy little hammer. Spruce ones break out way cleaner than the fir. There we go. Some of these are so tight I can't even get at them to hit. Only thing about doing these braces is it kind of ruins the lumber for if anybody else wants to reuse it. Alright, so I got the nails I need here, so I'll just go ahead and tack this on here. Notice this is kind of coming apart on me. Such an awkward place to be nailing. Okay, well, you get the point of nailing this. Alright, so that brace is up there. Gave it a little extra stability, I noticed, but it is still pretty wobbly because there's just not much going on down there. So yeah, we'll get to doing the ridge and then rafters. Alright, so I figured that I better pick up some more 16 penny nails. Those other ones, the fir lumber is a bit too hard for them. They're a bit too soft after the fire, so they just bend if you don't pound them perfectly straight. They work fine in the spruce usually, but the fir is just a bit too much. So I'm at the hardware store here in Glassland, a town just about 15 minutes north of the lake here. And this is a pretty nice hardware store. I like coming here. It reminds me of the Provost hardware. Just kind of a lot of new old stock. You can find a lot of treasures in here. So we'll go in and check out what they have. Alright, so I found a box of the nails I need, and just to kind of show you guys this store, it's a pretty nice store for just a little small town here. They got all sorts of tools. I probably should grab another saw blade, I'm thinking. Yeah, they got a 7 1/4 there. But yeah, all sell tools here. Pretty nice place. And I also found a set of saloon door hinges in here, so that's awesome. Alright, so I can never go into one of those stores without coming out with way more than I intended. I found these 2 clocks. They come with blades and then a clock. Those are kind of cool, so I just bought both of them. And then I got these ratcheting screwdrivers. These are really hard to find. This is what I have in my pouch, so I bought one for my brother and then just a spare backup one. Got the hinges I'll need for the doors, double swinging saloon hinges, a couple extra blades, and the nails I need. And they also have a pretty nice museum here. Got the original water tower, a caboose, and kind of a nice old, I don't know, is this the train station or what is this? Just an old house by the looks of it, that they kind of turned into a train station. Anyways, that's pretty cool. And they've also got some pretty nice elevators here. I'll drive by those. So these elevators look like they've been redone and appear to just be owned by a private independent farmer by the looks of it, but they did a pretty nice job redoing these. It's nice to see them actually get redone rather than just left to go to waste and get demolished. Alright, so now I'm gonna head back to the lake with all this stuff I got and actually try and get the rafters up. Alright, so I got the marks made here for roughly the center of the ridge. So I cut a block, and this is what I'll nail the ridge beam to. I just made it 2x6 just to give me a little extra, just in case something's a 1/2 inch off my mark or whatever. Pretty tight in here to be nailing. Okay, so now to do the ridge here, I want to find the center of the floor here. I'll just hook on to there, and we got 119 3/8. So that'll basically be, we'll just say 119.5. So that should be 60 3/4, I think. Just double check that to make sure my math is right. Yep. Okay, so this is my center point. So what I'm gonna want to do is plumb up from there. Which looks like approximately right there. Now let's see if that's close to the framing. 41, so we should be about 20.5, and that's just a 1/4 inch off. So really, that's not that bad. Oh, that's why we're a 1/4 inch off, because there's a live edge here. Alright, so I got my ridge beam here cut to 1 foot longer, so it'll stick out the end there. Now I'll just wedge that up in there. I cut that just a bit short so it would pinch it in between there. And then that's my center mark right there. Now I should just check this for level, but what's more important than level is that it's the same measurement off the floor and the same measurement from there, so all my rafters should work. I could actually wait to nail this until I cut my rafters and then just nail it after, because this is really just a non-structural ridge beam. The rafters carry the weight, not this. So I guess I gotta get something to stick that in there. It's not gonna go on its own. I'll just tack it for now, I guess, if I can get a nail anywhere in it. I don't really know. I gotta get a measurement from the floor over here. So from the floor to the top is 61 5/16 roughly. So then I'll go over here. It's kind of difficult doing this by myself. Grab my pencil. 61 5/16. So that should theoretically be the top of the beam right there. Have that tacked for now. Now, just out of curiosity, let's throw the level on it and just see how close we are here. You know, that's pretty close, judging by how high up we are and how much of a chance there is for things to go out of whack. Alright, so now I'm gonna lay out for the rafters on the ridge. which is gonna be hard to do because this is all broken on that side. So 2 feet there. 4 feet. 6 feet. I'll just transfer these marks to both sides. Okay. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is jigsaw out a spot alongside here. I don't really know how much I'm gonna need. Start with that. Need a little bit more. Alright, so for the rafters, I just decided to forget about the bird's mouth because I just couldn't get a measurement with the way I did the floor like this. So I'll just do one over here where I cut it open properly. Did I guess these 2x4s are 1 5/8, not 1 1/2. I'm gonna have to jigsaw that out just a little bit more. Alright, so that'll just go in there like so. And then I'll just line this up. I'll just get some nails started first. And I don't have my hammer up. Okay, so just got a nail started there. And I just line that up. Oh man, these ones don't really work either. This lumber is almost like hardwood. And it'll just go like that for the rest of them. Okay, now that I got the rafters on, I'm gonna get ready to trim the ends here, the tails. So what I do for that is just take my framing square, line it up there, and once it gets to 10 1/2, I make a mark. And the reason for 10 1/2 is that when I put the sub fascia on there, it'll bring it out to 12 inches. So I just make these marks on the two outer ones, and then I'll snap across so you get a nice straight line with the fascia. And then I'll just take my speed square and just use the 45 end, because 1212 is 45 degrees. So that will be the plumb cut right there. And I'll just mark all of these and then cut them. All right, now I'm ready to cut these. So I'll just take my saw, line it up on the mark. Just like that, all the way down. Try not to cut my cord. And the same to the other side. All right, so before I put this fascia on, since these are all cut up, I just have to sister on some pieces here. So it'll have a bit more bite. I'll have something to nail to. Don't want to break this tail off just nailing it. These are the situations where a nail gun would be nice. Now this is gonna be a little bit tricky to do this by myself. I made that mark, line up over there. Now the problem is I'm actually gonna have to get over there to do this. I gotta figure something else out here. Alright, so I finally kind of got the framing finished off here. I got this on and I got this eave put on. That's why I ran the ridge and the fascia a foot longer, was to attach these rafters for the 1 foot overhang over here. And then, yeah, it'll be 1 foot overhang all around. So that's pretty much it for the framing. I'm gonna have to bring some screws and some other things next weekend just so I can sister up some boards on those to make those connections stronger, because I can't do it with nails. It just bounces out. Everything's too weak. So I'll just end up breaking it and splitting it if I don't have proper screws. But anyways, this will be the end of episode 9, I guess. And in episode 10 will involve getting all the sheathing on and getting ready for shingles. So that'll be exciting. Stay tuned for that. Be sure to check out my Instagram to keep up to date with all my updates and everything else I'm doing. Follow me on Facebook and check out my merch store. All the links to those will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and stay healthy, everyone.